Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Destiny here, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about building a freelance makeup artist kit. I have gotten a lot of requests about this, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some of my tips and hints and little money saving ideas for you freelance makeup artists out there. Okay, so I think the first thing when it comes to building your makeup artist kit is you have to kind of sit down and think, what kind of makeup are you going to be doing? Who are you going to be doing makeup on? Is it going to be brides, teenagers for a pep rally? Is it going to be for headshots, red carpet? That's going to help you determine what products you need, what products you don't need, and the different tools that you're going to use to fill your kit. Now, I start building my kit from the face and from the products that I use first all the way up. So I start with cleanser, toner, and moisturizer because when I do people's makeup, I will generally take some type of cleansing cloth tone and moisturize depending on their skin type. And then I'll go to primers, foundation, concealer, color correctors, highlighter, bronzer, and all these products. It's a lot easier using these products when they're palletized. So sometimes you can go ahead and break down what you already have as a makeup artist and put it into a palette for that specific area of your kit. Maybe you're going to have a palette of cream foundation suitable for combination and oily skin, and you're going to have that in an area where you're using it when you're working with a lot of people versus maybe one or two people. Another thing you want to take into consideration when building your kit is the tonal range of the people you're going to be working on. Most of us ideally want to work on everybody from the palest of pale skin to the deepest. So you can definitely build a kit around the broad spectrum, but realistically, and to really start out when you're first starting out, focus on your main demographic when it comes to the bulk of your products. If you live in, I don't know, Wisconsin, and you're going to solely be working on Caucasian skin toned women, you're not going to want to fill your kit up with everything in the world for everybody. If you may only work on a deeper skin person once in a blue moon. I work on a little bit of everybody, so you will have opportunities, and there are products and brands that help you do things like that. Palletized foundation, really inexpensive foundations such as LA Girl, Graftobian, Kryolan. There's so many brands that will help you have a palletized makeup form. I would stock the bulk of my kit for the bulk of my consumers. If it's a mix, you're going to have to go ahead and do a mix, but primarily focus on your key demographic. I would definitely say the best products that you can have in your makeup kit are going to be multitasking and things that you can use on a lot of different areas of the face, such as different cream liners that you can use as eyeliners. You can use it in your eyebrows. You can use it as contour. You can use it on the lips. Makeup Forever is great on products like that. I'll show you some things in a minute that I use for that. Another thing that's kind of important in your kit are things that you may not necessarily need as a makeup artist: safety pins, nail polish, little hairsprays, and different things like that. Because a lot of times, as a makeup artist, it may come a time where you need to save the day. The nail artist is late, the hair person, you primarily on a shoot are the makeup is usually the most important, and sometimes other things get pushed to the side. So some of these things in your kit are going to help you as a makeup artist. Okay, another thing about freelance kit is kind of considering what you're going to put your things in, how you're going to work. Sometimes they have tables, sometimes they don't. You have to work out of your kit. Sometimes you're on the go, you're in the field, you're in the woods, you're behind the scenes, you're on the tour bus. So you really need to take in consideration what kind of kit you need. If you travel a lot, you may want to get the kind of suitcase, makeup train cases and different things like that. You may opt for soft bags. You may opt for, just having an airbrush kit for travel and keeping, other products in a rolling case. Another thing that's going to go into consideration when you think about how you're going to travel is how much you're going to be traveling with. If you are traveling from LA to New York to do 12 girls' faces, that is going to play a big role in your makeup kit versus if you're going to somebody's house to do one face, or if you're going to a club to do a whole bunch of dancers' faces. These are all going to play a big role in your makeup kit, how you carry yourself as a makeup artist, the tools you need and the tools that you don't need. So with this lecture aside, I feel like I've run my mouth forever. With this lecture aside, I want to show you some of the things that I have in my kit, and we can jump right in. Okay, so now we're sitting at my table and I have pretty much most of my freelance kit out. So when it comes to primers, I have primers all the way across the board, everything from drugstore and L'Oreal up to corrective with Makeup Forever, on to things from NYX, Laura Mercier, all over the board with primers. So right here I have the L'Oreal Age Rewind. And I use this, number one, for lighter skin tones. I use it for drier skin types, and I use it for aging skin. And then I have another foundation primer here. This is from Laura Mercier. This is their foundation primer for mineral foundation. So I like this for oily skin types because I generally will use some type of mineral foundation on them, even if it isn't a whole face of mineral foundation. A lot of mineral products may get used. Also, when it comes to primer, it's really helpful to have something that is palletized. There are several primers out there that are solid that you can use across the board. Both drugstore, CoverGirl I know makes one, and then solid as well. I know Tarte makes a couple of really great ones. On from primers, I have color correctors, and these are also sort of primers. These are from NYX. These are their color correcting CC creams. And what I have here are green for red. I have a little bit of peach for brown skin and dullness. And then I have purple here for really, really yellow and green skin types. So these are really good for that. These are really great because they help you to cut down on the use of foundation. And then you can also make sure to get the right tones to suit who you are doing makeup for. If you're going to do a room full of Black women, chances are you may not need green color correctors, green concealers, green powders. It'll just be a waste of space in your kit. It's heavy. And if you're only primarily in an area where you're only doing Black women, that may be something that you may not want to invest in. What I will show you is if you're doing a lot of people or if you plan to, you know, branch out or whatever the case may be, you have these little kits from NYX. This one here is medium, and what they have are color correctors as well as concealers. I like them because you can take the concealers, you can do highlighting and contouring, you can do correcting, and some people may only need a concealer. This one I like. It's a universal color correcting. You have yellow corrector here for bruised skin and different tones, peach, and so on and so forth. So that's a really great universal correcting palette. And then I have two here for darker skin tones, which I am particularly excited about, not only for personal use, but for a lot of my clients. So these are really, really great. On from color correction and concealers in that general form, I'm going to go to concealer palettes and kind of foundation situations. So depending on your clients, here goes a really great palette from Sasha that I like to keep in my kit, and it offers a lot of different colors for a lot of different situations. These are great for warmer climates as they are a brand founded in the islands. From Sasha, I also like Graftobian Palettes. This is another Graftobian palette that I absolutely love. I actually use this mainly for personal use, but if you were going to have something in your kit, this would be a phenomenal choice. You see everyone's tone here. It's not as expensive as stocking your kit with a whole bunch of foundations from, you know, any given brand. This could even be cheaper than going and stocking your whole kit with drugstore foundation. This can also be used as concealer. That is another product that I was saying is really, really great for multitasking. From those particular palettes, I will say that Jordana is making makeup artists everywhere extremely happy because this foundation is amazing. It's extremely inexpensive at about $2.99 to $3.99. You can buy every color and still come in under what you'd pay for one Marc Jacobs, which I love, or Lancome foundation, which I also love. So these are not only really, really, really great, they're great prices. They have great tones. You can mix and match and create shades. And if you're just starting out, or even if you're a professional makeup artist, these are great to have solely in your kit. And they're also great for additions. Just in case you have a palette, now you have a few of these, so you can really go in and mix and match. And you may have to go out and get specialty tones, such as extremely pale tones or extremely deep tones. But I think these are a great, addition to any kit. Another thing you can do to kind of get around the foundation price is you can buy a whole bunch of stick foundations and depot them. You and a friend can go half on, maybe you buy 5 stick foundations, I buy 5. Black Opal has great stick foundations in many shades. Fashion Fair does, as well as Black Radiance. I believe Iman also has a lot of really great stick foundations, so you can, split the cost, cut them in half, and then you can depot them by putting them into special makeup palettes. I'll show you one that I did for lipstick so you can get a better idea. So I made these years ago when I first moved to California, and I just depotted some lipstick. Basically, I took my lipstick, I cut half of it off or all of it. I placed it here in this paint palette, scooped out the paint and all that stuff before, washed it, put the lipstick in here, and now I have a whole palette full of lipstick, and that saved me lots of money because you can use really great brands that may ordinarily not come in palette form. And I made several of them based on colors. I made one for red, purple, orange, nude. They're great to have palletized because they're easier to travel and they take up way less space in your kit. Some other forms of palletized makeup that's really, really handy to have in your kit, of course, is highlighter and contour. This is from NYX. I absolutely love this because I feel as though I could use this on any skin tone, and they work really, really great. They're easy to keep in your kit. They're a great price and just really easy to travel with. Some others that I have here are from BH Cosmetics. This is their Forever Nude Sculpt and Glow palettes. They're really, really handy. They're great for many different skin tones. They're really great prices, and they have products that you can really use to make a difference in your makeup. This is also a pretty great palette. This one is from City Color, and this is their Contour Effects palette. And it's pretty great. They have a really, really, really pretty highlighter in there. I've obviously used way too much to the point where it's white, but if you use it very lightly, it creates a very nice natural light. From there, I kind of wanted to talk to you really fast about brow products. I have a couple of options here from NYX. These are their tinted brow mascaras, and I really like these because it helps to not only control the brow, but it also helps to fill in the brow. So you have a product that's multitasking. They come in a lot of different shades, as you can see, and they really help to fill your kit with something that's just not one product. It's not like you have a wax, pencil, a powder, and then a setting gel. This does about 3 jobs in one. Here is an example of an eyeshadow palette that I find really, really helpful. It's filled with neutral nude tones, so that's really, really great because generally, if you're going to do makeup, it is great to have your colors separated by maybe brights, nudes, neutrals, cools, neons, metallics. So this way it's more organized. You know where to go for what color. You're not searching and looking around for, oh, I need a metallic blue and I needed this or that or whatever the case may be. This one is from BH Cosmetics, and this is their 28 color neutral eyeshadow palette. This is an option from LA Girl. So just want to keep in mind when using these type of products to make sure you have a really great base. I'm going to quickly also show you some DIY palettes I did. This is basically just a baby wipe holder, and what I did was I depotted and broke apart some of my drugstore eyeshadows and I put them in the palette just to make it easier for me to travel with them. I have several here. This was a pencil case, and I just took about 20 or 30 drugstore eyeshadows and I broke them apart. I wanted to show you guys a couple of really great budget-friendly brush options. These are from BH Cosmetics. I'm a big fan of these face brushes and eye brushes at a really, really great price. And then you also get a little holder for your brush. There are several ways to kind of keep your brushes more maintained and without them getting lost or stolen by other makeup artists or models, because it happens sometimes. And that's by buying unique brushes if you can. These are actually also from BH Cosmetics. You can bet if you're there with several other makeup artists, many of them will not have red brushes. So that's something helpful so you can make sure that your brushes don't go home with somebody else or your products, period. This is an example of eyelashes that I use. I actually have these on today. They're very, very pretty, very inexpensive. And these are the type of lashes that you won't feel bad leaving behind at a shoot. They're not $30 MAC lashes or mink or anything extravagant. But if you're doing a basic shoot where the lashes are not the focus, I think that these will do just fine. If you agree, I have a link in the bottom bar so you can go ahead and check them out. Another important area of building your kit is powder. If you are the type of person to love powder, under eye, setting, contour, all different types of powder, there are pressed powder options. Anastasia makes pressed powder, NYX as I just showed you. You can take all your favorite face powders. L'Oreal makes a lot of really great face powders. You can depot them, put them in a separate palette, and then you know, can create your own palette of face powders for particular shoots. Maybe you're going to shoot with, you know, the cheerleaders and you know that they're all this particular skin tone range. You know which ones you need to bring, or you're going to go and shoot for a bride and you can create your own palette, especially for that bride, because sometimes traveling with a whole bunch of extra makeup that you don't need can really take the joy out of being a makeup artist. So this is to keep it fun, light, easy, and inexpensive. I like powder. I like pressed powder as well. I also like loose powder because I feel like you can really do what you need to do when it comes to cooking and reverse highlighting and really getting that drama. This is Derma Blend, and then I also have a couple of options from NYX. Several brands make powder, anywhere from NYC and really inexpensive brands all the way up to Laura Mercier and Chanel if you want to go there, Marc Jacobs. Depending on what you are going to use your powder for, you can really save a lot of money by investing in NYX and brands like that. Your final pieces of your freelance makeup artist kit are your hand sanitizers, your brush cleaners, disposables, eyelash wands, baby wipes, and different things like that. I found some really cool eyelash applicators in Sephora at Clinique. Well, I didn't find them, but they were placed there. But you know, I go in and I take a couple of disposable brushes from every little stop, just in case I ever want to try something unique. Because you know what? These are different than just the generic eye brush disposal applicators, and maybe you need it special for some bridal work or something like that. So you get your mascara and you get your special brush wand. These are from Clinique, by the way, and you can do something a little special. It's not the best thing in the world. It's not the most highly smiled upon practice, but you know, they dispose of these things so readily. And if you need a couple, like this one is awesome. This green one right here is pretty awesome. But that's a way to kind of get around that. Of course, using beauty blender sponges is a way to get around using brushes constantly, because brushes can spread germs, as can beauty blender sponges. This is why if you're going to use beauty blender sponges, you need to have at least 4 of them ready per face, depending on your makeup style. I can't say that. Me personally, when I work on one person's face, I like to use several sponges. If I'm working with 3 girls, I like for each of the girls to have a different color sponge, maybe one purple, one pink, one blue. I use the sponges for foundation, blush, then a clean blending sponge, and then another clean sponge that I like to use if I'm there for the shoot, just to keep them fresh. I may take the sponge and spray some makeup setting spray on it and just stipple her face during the shoot. There are several ways to get around spending money on certain things you may not want to spend a whole bunch of money on, like makeup palettes and different things like that. Not makeup palettes for holding makeup, palettes for applying makeup. I just showed you this thing right here. This was $1. It came with paint in it. I popped the paint out with a butter knife. Now you have something where you can mix and do blush and lipstick colors and different things like that without having to go out and buy an expensive makeup palette. You can also stick a little mini butter knife in there, and then you have a scraper. It is a little bit more sanitary to work with metal, but plastic is also really good. The one thing I'd advise against is paper, because it will absorb your makeup. I get asked this question by makeup artists and makeup enthusiasts alike. What is one thing in your kit that you splurged on that you think was worth it, and one thing that you didn't think was worth it? So I will definitely have to say that this little dirty kit here, which I have gotten so much use out of. This thing was like $120 and it broke my heart nearly to buy it, because when I did buy it, I really couldn't afford it, but I really needed it. I'll explain why this is so important. This is eyeshadow base. This is face paint. This is corrector. This is concealer. This is highlighter. This is face contour. This is everything that you could ever need in a cream product, from bases to liners and what have you. So I really think that that was really important. One thing that I kind of resent spending on was a really big makeup traveling case, because I never really ended up using it. And before I moved to LA, I actually gave it to a friend, and it wasn't bad to have. And when you are working in a place with no table, that thing comes in such handy. It's a lifesaver. But it's one of the things that I really beat my head against the ground wanting to get, because I just felt like you're not a makeup artist without a big wheelie case, and it's just not the case. So that's something that I kind of wish I didn't spend, but I did give it to a friend who needed it, so that was really cool. I will show you here something else that I think is a really great item to kind of spend some money on, and this is a makeup bag. This one in particular is from Japanesque, and I really like it because it has pockets all the way around it, all the way on the inside. It's really deep, it's black, it's stain resistant, waterproof, and I just use it so much when I'm traveling, as well as my Husky back here. This is really, really great. I actually purchased this from Home Depot, and it has, I believe, 8 pockets. And it was super inexpensive, and it just really helped me more than any actual makeup case that I ever bought. This video is going to be so long. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I just wanted to help you guys kind of learn about how this is not the only way, and some people will tell you completely different things, but you know, that's the fun about YouTube, learning everybody's method. This is my method to my madness. I hope it was helpful. As always, guys, I want to thank you so much for commenting, rating, and subscribing. I'll be in touch, and hopefully you'll do the same. Bye, guys.
I'll be right by your side till 2005. Okay, hold up, wait up.